My new boyfriend judged me over my bathroom. Red flag or overreacting? Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're playing red flag, green flag. This is the red flag and this is the green flag. It doesn't get much use. I'll just say that. I, 30s female, have been casually dating someone, 40s male, for a little over a month. He spent the night at mine a few times now. The last time, he felt comfortable enough to go number 2 in the morning. Dare I say. He gave me a warning ahead of time. Okay. And I mentioned that I had poo-pourri in the basket by the toilet if he wanted it. He came out of the bathroom sort of upset looking, and he was unusually quiet while I made us breakfast sandwiches. He asked for his to go.
Well, he looks at me and I look at him.
I knew something was wrong, and I was replaying the night in my head, and it went really well. Things turned after he pooped, and I thought maybe he just felt embarrassed about it. A short while after he left, he texted me and said, "It's weird that you made me dive into your period to have some self-respect about an actual..." I beg your finest pardon. What does that even mean? It's weird that you made me dive into your period to have some self-respect about an actual... WTF, did I do something wrong? Am I overreacting to think that he's way out of line? This seems crazy to me. But should I, a single woman who lives alone, make my bathroom more accommodating to people of the opposite sex? Are period products really that offensive? Okay, so this is the basket. This is the bucket. And I'm assuming that little spray is the poopery. I personally think that that is very nice and organized. And it's like such a nice thing to do, because if your girlfriends come over and they need something, that's just there. There's nothing like wrong with that. It's not like they're used. I would say this is I wish I had a bigger flag. What kind of man in this day and age is grossed out by that? He's certainly not. Okay, so to me, this says that he's a man that has never had a long-term girlfriend. Either he's never had a long-term girlfriend so that he could become like desensitized to this kind of thing, or he's got a weird like fixation, or like he's really turned off by like periods. And like, listen, I mean, I don't want to get political, but it's like internalized misogyny, like kind of. The world has taught women that we are gross when we have our periods. Like it's an embarrassing thing, and it's like nasty and unclean. And like, that's just like, the more and more research comes out about it, it's like, that's not the case. Women are literally life creators, and a period is just a sign that we do that. I personally think either of those options are massive red flags. The fact that he's never had a long-term girlfriend, which is quite possible. Did he not have a mom either? I guess moms like could be a little old to have a period, but it's like no moms, no sisters. Like, I just feel like someone who isn't around women and is grossed out by this, like they're neatly placed and they're in like a beautiful little treasure chest. I fail to understand why he's turned off or put off by that. He's mad that he had to go in there to get the poopery. Is he also mad that like you told him to spray after the shit? Well, you think I'm gross. Like, look at you, you're gross. Is that what that's about? I don't know. I'm confused. But to me, this is like weird. A man in his 40s that feels emasculated by the sight of a tampon is not relationship or even booty call material. Yeah, I forgot the 40s thing.
You're a grown man.
For some reason, the ages just tend to go right over me head. You know, it's like, okay, no, we have to go back to that. Right over me noggin. If he's not mature enough to endure female hygiene products existing around him, he's not mature enough to handle someone's lady bits. That part. Exactly, he can't even look at period products in a private bathroom. God forbid she ever needs him to buy some from the store. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think, oh, weird. Yeah. How dare she expect a masculine macho man to do such a thing? It screams immaturity to me. It screams like internalized misogyny. I think we all, when we're choosing a partner, want to feel safe about normal bodily functions, not someone who makes us feel like weird and dirty about it. So I would say you are not overreacting, and this is a giant red flag. Am I overreacting for quitting my job after finding this note on my desk? Ooh, okay. I recently located from the south to the north, and this is my first winter here. Unfortunately, I was unaware that the side streets in my area are not plowed until later in the day. During this storm, we received approximately 10 inches of snow. I was informed that I needed to remain at work in order to be present for my next morning shift. I communicated that at the time. I have pets who rely on me, that with the storm approaching, there was a possibility I could become stranded at work. I made multiple attempts to secure alternative care for my pets, but was unable to find anyone available. I had only been in this supervisor role for 1 month, and another supervisor was already staying overnight as a precaution. Ultimately, I was unable to get my car out of the street and had to call out. I was written up for this because I notified management approximately 5 hours before my shift. When I returned for my shift, I found a note on my desk. Problems and issues don't matter when cows need fed and cows need milked. I'm assuming you don't work on a farm. The note was upsetting and made me feel unwelcome. Given I had only been employed here for a month, I have already received one write-up for minor issues, something I've never experienced in my work history. I went home that night and emailed my boss I quit for XYZ, and she replied, "Happy holidays," and that was it. My parents said it was an overreaction to quit because of her note, and she probably meant well by it, but I don't think anything could be taken well by the note that was left. Okay, so OP actually edited and confirmed, because I confused everyone, this was a hotel job. I'm not working on a farm, and I already had another job. Problems and issues don't matter when cows need fed and cows need milked. Well, honestly, I'm kind of like turned off by the grammar of the whole thing. It kind of just sounds like this is like something really beyond your control. Problems and issues don't matter when cows need fed and cows need milked. Okay, what happens if you like go to the hospital though? With this note, I genuinely feel like they're trying to condition you into saying that like what happens in your personal life when you're not at work doesn't matter to them. The only thing that matters to them is their bottom line, which is like, from a business perspective, I guess, I feel like a warning would have been satisfactory. I don't think that the passive aggressive note or the writing up was necessary. Because like, yes, your bottom line matters when you have a business, but people also matter. The people that work for you also matter. If they don't matter to you, you're gonna have a high turnover rate and you're just gonna be spending all your time training new people who are then gonna quit very quickly. You should have said you had a pet cow, then maybe she'd understand. Oh, but it was a cow, actually. I also have a cow that needs feeding and milking. When cows need fed, cows need milked. So you do understand why I had to leave. This is so totally ungrammatical, I'd quit regardless. Honestly, like, just saying. I'm sorry. I am so judgmental over grammar, especially when someone's being a jerk. Like if the vibes are good, I don't care about your grammar. But if the vibes are kind of weird, I'm judging you. Just know that. This workplace sounds insane. Good riddance. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, maybe OP could have planned better with regards to the snow. I don't know. She's new in that area. Like, she didn't know. I think it was an honest mistake. This is how they treat their employees. This note fully describes how they treat their employees and what would happen if anything personal came up. It was either going to happen now or later on, but like, hey man, some places have a zero tolerance policy. Those places also have a high turnover rate. I would say you are not overreacting, and this is 100% a red flag. Am I overreacting? My mom got my wife a birthday gift.
Well, that was nice of her.
My mom doesn't like my wife. She has told her to leave me before. My wife's birthday is late January. My wife also just delivered our firstborn son. My mom bought her this hat and a wine glass, which was broken in the bottom of the gift bag. My mom claims she thought this hat would be a good idea because y'all like the beach and riding in your Jeep. Okay. It's a trucker hat with beachy painted on it. Again, it's January, and for context, we rarely go to the beach. When I said, why would she need a wine glass? She just gave birth. She says, well, she could drink tea out of it. Dare I say, your mom literally just like found some random garbage around the house that she didn't want and gave it to your wife when she gave birth to her grandson. Yeah, this is a low effort, I don't care about you gift. This is also not the first time. Earlier on in my wife's pregnancy, my wife told my mom the smell of alcohol makes her sick. My mom then tried to give me alcohol and encouraged me to drink. So she'd smell it on you? This is the first and only time they've ever encouraged me to have alcohol. They are a very strict no alcohol family. Oh yeah, no, that's a red flag for sure. My wife told her she couldn't eat deli meats during pregnancy. My mom then buys a giant charcuterie board for our anniversary. Wife is still pregnant at the time. What are y'all's thoughts? Is this truly an innocent gift like my mom pretends? She's got extremely defensive when I told her these gifts pissed me off. I just can't shake the optics of someone asking my wife where she found her hat, and she responds, oh, my mother-in-law got it for me. This seems to be a pattern, and since my mom is pretending like I'm the bad guy, I'm coming to this group to see if I'm overreacting. I don't think that you're overreacting. I think that this is a low effort gift. She probably got this hat for free somewhere. Like, it's probably something someone gave her that she didn't like, and then she gave it to your wife on the day she gave birth, which is like arguably one of the hardest things that women go through. I don't think you're overreacting personally, and especially knowing like all the contexts, including the gift. And you know this, like your mom doesn't like your wife, but your mom finds really weird and passive aggressive ways to show that. And I'm really glad that you clock it, because a lot of guys just tend to sweep this under the rug when their moms are passive aggressive toward their wives and girlfriends. But I'm really glad that you're noticing this. And listen, she's never going to admit it. Like, she's doing things in a sly, sneaky way. Like, women don't overtly try to hurt other people. Women in your heart, they slowly creep in and do passive aggressive things that are sneaky and toxic, because then you look like the crazy person, because you're like, what the is this gift? And she's like, that is so offensive. I took time out of my day and I spent money on your wife. Like, what is wrong with you? See, now you look like the bad guy.
This is worthless.
I think you're not overreacting. I think it's time to go low contact. That's how serious it is. Okay, let's see what everybody else had to say. Have your wife get her a matching hat that says Queen Beach. Time to design your mother a country hat for the next time she goes for a drive. Oh, that's the C word. Oh, I love that. To be honest, if grandma can't respect mom/your wife, she doesn't get access to the kids, grandkids. Grandkids will eventually be old enough to notice how grandma treats mom and be sad and confused and hurt by it. No access to grandkid means no photos to brag about, online or in paper form. No visits, even if grandma comes to your house. Yeah, I truly believe that it really is that deep. And you are not overreacting. This is quite a few red flags. Oh my gosh, I didn't even clock this. Sorry, just one more thing to add. Not overreacting. Beachy is tongue-in-cheek bit. This is so crappy. Oh, okay, yeah, no. I didn't even clock that. Like, is it that deep? Yeah, maybe. You see how she's sneaky about it? Because it's like you're questioning your sanity. It's like, is she saying or beachy? Am I overreacting over my first Valentine's Day note? Just celebrated my first Valentine's Day with my boyfriend. I love flowers. I buy bouquets weekly for my house. I prefer white and pink flowers. I don't like red roses. I got this bouquet and this note with them. It was upsetting. I felt my boyfriend did everything opposite of what I wanted. I went out of my way to do lots of handmade items and bought nice gifts for him as well. He knows I love Valentine's Day and it's special to me. I let him know that it hurt me, and he responded that the note was awesome and it's just a joke. I think if you care for someone, you make those things special. Okay, here's the note. What if I told you cleaning the dishes and washing the floors seduces me more than you whining about flowers and a romantic dinner on Valentine's Day? JK, kinda, cheers.
I'm gonna be cool. I just want to say hi, that's all.
Be so for real right now. It's not a joke. He even said kinda. And who writes that on a Valentine's Day card? Ew.
No, thank you. Ick.
Doesn't say how long you've been with this person. And then he got you red roses. A bouquet with red roses in it. It's not the worst bouquet I've seen, but the note is pretty awful. I hate the comment about cleaning the dishes and washing the floors. I really hate that. Like, words can't even describe how much I have the ick right now. Whining about flowers and a romantic dinner on Valentine's Day. I genuinely think he's trying to condition you into like shaming you about liking the things that you like so that you don't expect those things on Valentine's Day. He wants you on Valentine's Day to wash the floors and clean the dishes. I hope you meant to say your last Valentine's Day with this guy. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing though. Like, you're posting all of this stuff and you're asking people's opinion. Don't like stay with this person now. Okay? You know this is weird, right? I would say you are not overreacting. I think you're underreacting, honestly. Am I overreacting to my boyfriend's comments about the food I made?
You play with fire.
So, Monday night, my 30 female boyfriend's 35 female mother passed away. So she's 30, boyfriend is 35. She was terminally ill for about a year and a half, and it's been obviously very tragic for my boyfriend and his family. He texted me Tuesday morning and told me that she passed away the night before. We don't live together. He was at his parents' house all day Tuesday, and I had no idea what to do for him, as I've never supported anyone through a loss like this, and I've never been through a loss like this myself. I happened to have a big pot of pasta and meatballs in my fridge that I had cooked for myself, so I took it and brought it to his house. Oh, that's very nice of you.
This is for you.
It wasn't a gourmet meal by any means, but it was literally all I had in terms of something that could be stored in the fridge, and all he had to do was put it in a bowl and heat it up. I didn't have any other groceries to make something that would make good leftovers because I was all out of food stamps, and I didn't pick up takeout because I didn't have the money for it. I recently lost my job, and I haven't had a steady income for the past several weeks. His boyfriend let me in.
And they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
My boyfriend knew I was dropping something off, and I left the pot in the fridge. I also cleaned up his bedroom, and then I went to work.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I personally think that supporting someone through a loss doesn't involve like money. I think that it involves literally just being there, and I like the idea of like, you know, bringing them food, making sure they're eating okay, and you're doing little things to help him. I went back over later that night to spend the night with him so he wouldn't be alone. We didn't talk much, and he didn't eat what I made him because he wasn't hungry by the time he got home. It was so late, we just went to bed. He was acting very distant and almost cold toward me, but I wasn't taking it personally given the circumstances. I can't imagine how I would be feeling or acting if I was in his shoes. The next morning, Wednesday, I stayed with him for a few more hours until he left to go hang out with his brother. I also had to leave because my mom and I were driving out to a nearby city where we had booked an Airbnb for 2 nights a few weeks prior. My mom paid for the whole thing as an early birthday present to me, which I was extremely grateful for. I told my boyfriend I could cancel the trip, but he insisted I go, even going as far as saying he would be mad at me if I canceled. So I went. Later that night, my mom and I are relaxing at our Airbnb when I get a text from my boyfriend. It's a picture of the pasta and meatballs I left for him and a message that says, "The amount of sauce you used is disrespectful."
This is a joke, right? I mean, this is the stupidest thing I've ever read.
Oh, I was just trying to do something nice. You don't have to eat it. I mean, dare I say that like leftover pasta, if you don't eat it right away, tends to like the sauce kind of goes away. You kind of need to add more sauce, but still kind of weird. Like, is he joking? Disrespectful. Did he really mean that? Like disrespectful? Like what?
No, this
This must be a joke.
Okay. He asked if I tried it myself, and I told him, yeah, I had 2 plates of it. I genuinely thought it was good for just some pasta, red sauce, meatballs, and cheese thrown in a pot. Again, it was something I originally made for myself, and I didn't have ingredients or the money or ingredients to make him a fresh meal. So he's like, did you have it? Okay, so it wasn't like a joke. It was like,
did you eat this? Because, like, this is awful.
Yesterday, I got home from my trip, and he wanted me to sleep over, so I did. He made us dinner, he usually does the cooking, and made some comments about how dinner was really good and how the food you cook someone can be a representation of how you feel about them and how much you love them. To me, it was clear that he was making a job at the pasta and the meatballs I gave him. He was. This morning, before I left, I went to grab the pot of pasta and take it home with me. I forget how we got into it, but he basically made another jab about how it was inedible and that I'll see that for myself when I have some. I literally cannot stand it. When you're going out of your way to do nice things for others and someone takes that opportunity to criticize the thing that you do, like pick it apart in some way. There's something so triggering about that because it's like, okay, well, the next time I'm just not going to do it. Like he didn't have to say anything, you know, like maybe it wasn't good. I'm sure it would have been good if he ate it the night that you brought it over, but like he didn't. And now he's like saying this for what? Like, I understand he's hurting and that he went through something very sad, but like he doesn't need to be a complete jerk to you when all you did was try to make him feel better. Let's say it's really bad. All right. Let's say it wasn't very good. You know, he's the cook, whatever. There's probably a reason for that, but like, why say it?
Everyone lies a little bit.
Like, why are you saying that? What does that do other than make someone feel bad? To me, it wouldn't motivate me to become a better cook. It's not that hard to cook pasta, first of all. It wouldn't motivate me to be a better cook. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. It would motivate me to honestly never do something nice for someone again. And that's like literally not in my nature. I don't think you're overreacting, but let's read on. I got really upset at this point. He went on to say my food made him feel so much worse. Ooh. He said some other people dropped off food and it was really delicious, so he didn't understand why I didn't do that. He just kept doubling down and saying how awful my food was and how it made him feel unloved and disrespected. Disrespected?
Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Interesting choice of words. He said it was effed up of me to give him something so bad. This really hurt me because I would never want to do something to make him feel bad, especially when he's grieving the tragic loss of a parent. I genuinely don't know if I'm overreacting to this. He said I shouldn't feel bad, but motivated to do better. Absolutely not. I would be motivated to literally leave and never come back.
You'll get nothing and like it.
I told him he could have handled it differently by saying something more like, thanks for the food, babe, but maybe use more sauce next time.
A simple thank you would suffice.
Yeah, I just don't really see, I don't really see why he's even pointing it out. He should see the thought behind it. It's not like you're trying to poison him.
Maybe you should, though.
He could have just said nothing and thrown the food away, literally. I'm trying my best to be there for him, and I just feel like I can't get it right. Nothing I do is ever enough for him, and it's eroding my self-confidence. But see, this is the thing. We have to take into account that he just had something really awful happen to him, and he's lashing out, and he's choosing you to lash out at. This is not how people in a healthy relationship talk to each other. It's just not. You're noticing that it's breaking down your confidence, right? Over time, you will be a shell of a human being, because if he thinks that this is okay, he's gonna continue to do it. Slowly but surely, you'll be a shell of yourself. You won't be able to leave because you have no self-esteem and you think that no one will love you. Girl, I don't care if his mom just died. He doesn't need to be lashing out at the one person who's trying to make him feel better and take care of him. I'm a nanny and caregiver of 10 plus years. It's my specialty to take care of people, and I've always been told I'm exceptional about what I do. So it's confusing to me that he acts like I'm incompetent and making everything worse. Honestly, I think that he's projecting. I just don't really understand the logic here, other than it's him genuinely trying to break down your confidence. And maybe it's not conscious what he's doing, but it is certainly a red flag. Nothing I do is ever good enough for him. It's eroding my self-confidence. It's confusing to me that he acts like I'm incompetent and making everything worse. He wasn't joking. He's usually like this, unfortunately. The way he's treating me, you'd think I killed his mom myself. I was scared of what he would do if I did nothing. So these were all comments that OP made in the comment section. You were scared of what he would do if I did nothing.
That's a red flag.
There, 4 reasons why you should break up with him. You gave him the last of your food when you're literally neck deep in financial issues, and you cleaned his room and he never even gave a simple thank you. That part. I would personally break up with him because nobody is going to be speaking to me that way ever. I do not care what they're going through. Kindness is free. Literally. If he doesn't like the way that you're showing up for him, then don't show up at all. Being rude can and should cost you. If he's like this all the time, his cost should be losing you. There is someone out there who will not only do the bare minimum, but will go above and beyond for you the way you try to do for your current boyfriend. Someone out there will love you like you love, and everyone deserves someone that can love the way they love. Ugh, I just got goosebumps. You deserve someone who would give you the last of their food and clean your room while you're going through something. A great rule of thumb when it comes to relationships is you can't expect things from people if you wouldn't do it for them. And you shouldn't accept those that expect things they wouldn't do for you. 100%. Honestly, everything that you are saying about this is also a really big red flag. So please break up with him. Please. Like, I'm really hoping that you did. He's a jerk. An asshole, dare I say. Even if he just lost his mom. You are not overreacting.
I'm lonely.
Am I overreacting for being offended by this? I was talking to a guy from school. We were planning to go out for ice cream together this weekend to get to know each other and see where things could go. I definitely could have handled that better if I wasn't at work when he texted. This conversation happened when I took my 10. I got left on red, and I also don't think there's anything else to talk about. Am I the a-hole for being offended by his comments about weight? Ooh, all right.
All right.
I'm fine with either one. I think I prefer the fruit flavors like sorbets though.
It's so icky.
I gotta ask a question real quick. What's up? So, you're 5'6", right? How much do you weigh? 104 to 109, depending on the day or time. Oh, I was thinking something under 100.
I'm sorry, did I ask for your opinion?
Under 100 pounds. You sound, I think that you're probably pretty young, but old enough to go on a date. So that's underweight. I don't know if you know. Your weight is fine for now. Do you think you'll get over 110 anytime soon? It's definitely a deal breaker for me. I beg your finest pardon? A deal breaker? What the f? First of all, you don't just say that to someone. That's an inside thought and honestly a terrible perception of how much you think girls should weigh. I don't want a girl bigger than me. That's not a good look in general. I'm sorry, so he weighs less than 110 pounds? And if you can't match that, then this is not going to work out. Yeah, you're right. I can't match that. It's a horrible expectation for you to have for people. Go deal with your own insecurities before projecting them onto others.
And if I only had a brain.
I actually feel like you handled that extremely well. And I can tell that you're young just by the fact, you're going for ice cream or whatever, and the fact that you only weigh like 110 pounds. I don't think I've weighed 110 pounds since I was in 6th grade. That sucks that he's apparently 100 pounds. Isn't he underweight? Shake my head. Yeah, this is more about him than it is about her, I think. I'm just so confused as to, he probably heard it at school somewhere. He probably heard it like, they're doing locker room talk or whatever, and like he's just parroting what someone else said and like what should and shouldn't be. This person said,
Aw, you only weigh 110 pounds?
You're a little baby boy. You're a little baby boy.
No, come on. That's a low blow. We're not going there. Dude doesn't have an ounce of muscle on him. Yeah, I mean, okay, let's just clock that they're young, okay? Like, it's possible that they're just very young. And you're 5'6". Like, you're basically 100 pounds at 5'6".
You are tiny.
You're already very tiny. I don't think that you're overreacting at all. I think this guy has some very weird perceptions of like what girls should weigh. And he's probably, like you said, projecting his own insecurities about being kind of skinny and small himself. You don't need that. It's only going to get worse with time. God forbid you gain weight. Like I said, you've got a good head on your shoulders. And I genuinely feel like you reacted the way you should have reacted. No notes from me, because this is one gigantic red flag. Dear, oh dear. Am I overreacting for being upset that my girlfriend secretly used my credit card for months? I, mid-20s male, have been dating my girlfriend for just under 2 years. I currently make a very decent amount of money and she knows this. I'm also very on top of my finances and credit cards and stuff.
You sure about that?
She's maybe not so much. I typically pay my credit card down to zero regardless of the balance every month. In December, I was traveling and doing some budgeting, so I just happened to check my statement. I noticed just a handful of charges that I didn't recognize. Some shopping online, random stores, and even some cash advance transactions, which I get charged a fee for. Not a big deal in and of itself, but I figured my card had been compromised. I reported the charges, got a new card, and proceeded carefully with my card info going forward. I didn't accuse anyone and just chalked it up to bad luck. Fast forward a few months, my friends and I planned this trip to Mexico for about 2 weeks here at the end of January, beginning of February. Before traveling here, I told my credit card company I would be out of the country, so there was no problems with purchasing things, etc. They called me and told me they had flagged some charges and wanted to know if I was back from my vacation. I'm not back yet. I started putting two and two together and came to the realization it could only be my girlfriend, and I'm really crushed right now. I confronted her, and these are the messages. I feel like I'm being gaslit about this. I really just don't want to see her because I'm so angry. I don't want her to be at my house when I get back, but I understand she lives there and I can't just kick her out. Am I overreacting? Good morning, babe. When you wake up, I need to talk to you about something serious. I just left the gym. Is everything okay? I'm okay. So I got woken up to a call from Amex this morning for a fraud alert about some purchases on my card. I had to temporarily lock my card. This is the last thing I want to deal with right now, and I'm very frustrated. Okay, yeah, also because you're traveling, which is not ideal. Oh God, that's awful. What do you need from me? Can I help at all? I'm sorry, babe. That's so annoying, especially while you're traveling. Yeah, it's very annoying. I'm just gonna be direct and ask you why and how are you using my credit card? Wait, me? What do you mean? Please just be honest with me. It says there were purchases for $36 at blank and then another for $224 at blank, both local spots in Austin. So you're saying I did something. Babe, how would I be using your card if it's with you?
Why don't you tell me?
I mean, you can go into someone's wallet and take a picture or write down the numbers. Local spots in Austin. That being said, okay, online purchases, I feel like you can 100% use someone else's card. If it's like a local spot, like let's say she had a night out and she had a credit card photo, they wouldn't accept that. Like not in my experience, at least. They don't just like accept numbers. I don't know. I'm asking you directly. I don't want to accuse you of doing anything if I don't have the full picture. But from where I stand, this is the only thing that makes any sense. So did you use my credit card at blank? Why would you automatically think it's me? Because this already happened months ago. I assume my credit card just got skimmed on or something, but I replaced it and it didn't happen again. Now I'm out of the country and it happens again. I'm sorry, but you have to understand how it looks to me. Just answer my question, please. Are you using my card? Well, I did a couple times in September. I thought it was okay though. It wasn't like that. Okay. You know, I almost believed her. I have to say, I almost did. Your girlfriend is 100% stealing from you. I thought it was okay.
Did you ask him?
You thought it was okay to just use someone else's card and not tell them? Like, do you have that kind of relationship? Did you ever say like, hey, like you can use this card whenever? Because if that conversation never happened, then she's stealing from you. It wasn't like what? You're saying you didn't try to use my card yesterday at blank, only back in September. I just didn't think it would be that big of a deal. I used it before to buy some of the furniture for the house like you said I could. So you copied my card number and betrayed my trust or what? I don't think you're being honest with me. So are you telling me that you didn't use my card yesterday? And before, you didn't take cash out from somewhere with my credit card? I didn't copy your card number. When I took it to buy the furniture, it added it to my Apple Wallet. I may have used it just a few times. It added it to my Apple Wallet. What the f? That doesn't just automatically happen. You literally have to like type in your credit card and like go through security protections to add something to your Apple Wallet. Oopsie. Oh no. Oh, whoa. Okay, so she's lying again.
It just added to my Apple Wallet.
No, bestie. You need to literally, like, I'm actually surprised that he didn't even get an alert when that happened. I may have used it just a few times in between then and now, but you're making it sound like I stole money from you or something.
But you did, though.
I mean, but she did. Using someone else's card without their permission is stealing. There's no other way to put it. You're making it very dramatic. I mean, if I found out that my significant other was stealing from me, it would be very dramatic. Well, that is because it is a big deal to me. You stole sensitive financial information from me. I'm confused what you are using $500 of cash advance for anyways. Why wouldn't you just ask me? I never got any cash out of the card. I don't know what that's about, I swear. Cash advance fee, $10. This isn't for that much, but I certainly did not do it right around the time I left for Mexico. Okay, I see. So the card is on my Apple Pay, so I must have been defaulting to yours on accident when I used Venmo to like pay for my friends and stuff. I'm really sorry, you have to trust me here. This was a mistake. So it was a mistake to spend $200 at this place yesterday too on my card. I don't understand why you would just ask me for money if you needed it. This is low. You know how I am about this kind of stuff and you exploited my worst insecurities. Oh, brother. Yeah, I've literally never heard of like adding someone else's card to your Apple Wallet and like mistakenly using it. I truly just didn't think much of it. You've been paying your card off all the same. I didn't think it would hurt you as much. Okay, so the guy has money and he's paying for his credit card anyway, so it doesn't matter if you steal. That doesn't make it okay. Come on. You know I would do anything for you, and if you asked for the sun, I would have climbed Everest to try to get it for you. Oh, my heart. Stealing from me is not okay. It wasn't ever a ton of money at the time. I ultimately planned to pay you back, but I guess I do also understand why you're upset. I have yet to hear an apology from this person. You cash advanced $500 in December. It's not about whether it's a lot to me, but you realize this is simply not okay. You've been doing this for months. When was the repayment going to start? I needed money at the time, and I just like didn't know how to ask you at the time. I'm sorry. Finally.
Sorry, I got caught.
Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, I'm just saying this relationship is over. I'm sorry. I can't have too much sympathy for you. You live with me. I pay my mortgage and don't ask you for anything. I already pay for everything for you. You know I've helped you, and you never have a problem asking me for anything. I love to spoil you. You know that. Oh, buddy.
Has the ball, lost it.
She really f***ed up a good thing. You're acting like I'm some sort of criminal or something. Like, please just take a deep breath. I'm sorry. You are a criminal. That is criminal behavior. No, I'm acting like you just broke all trust I had in you. It's been so hard on me in the past few years to open up to people I like. And to have you do this is the exact reason why. This is exactly what I've been afraid of.
I feel like you're blowing it slightly out of proportion.
Okay, let's see if you press charges and if the police think you're blowing it out of proportion. Don't tell me how to feel about this situation. My bank locked my card and called me about possible fraud while I was in a different country. Do you not understand that this is a major deal to me? Yeah, like when your card gets locked and you're in a different country, you're literally like, I hope he's with friends who can help him or that places take debit because like you can be stranded in a country without a credit card. Do you understand how bad that looks on you and myself as well? I apologize. You're focusing on the wrong thing. And what is the thing to focus on right now? I was stressed. I was scared and I didn't know what I was going to do. Okay, so you're playing the victim. Now you're making me feel like a terrible person for that. You are. That's like what terrible people do. Sorry. If the shoe fits, you're pissing me the off. Cut the victim. Good for you for clocking it. You're not a victim, and if anyone is, then it's me. But I'm not even playing that card, so be a woman and help me understand why you'd hide something like this from me instead of just talking to me. Make it make sense. I feel like you don't trust me sometimes, like the way you're interrogating me and talking to me right now. Again, playing the victim. Right now, it feels like you're holding your money over my head. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm laughing out loud. When have I ever held money over your head? Never asked you to pay me back or made you feel bad about not paying or anything, ever. I deserve the same honesty and respect I give to you, my girlfriend. I always put you first. How the hell am I holding money over your head? I told you I was sorry and I don't know what else you want from me at this point.
Give me your money!
I feel like I want you to understand why it's a big deal to me and why I'm so hurt. If you don't get it, then you just don't get it. But I want to be frank with you and let you know I've reconsidered this whole thing. I have a few more days here and I don't want to be consumed with this while I try to enjoy the rest of my trip with my friends. I've given it too much time this morning already. I don't want to talk to you in between now and when I get back. We will talk in person and figure this out, but I'm incredibly hurt and questioning a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, this is like for sure breakup fuel. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being punished and it was never supposed to be this big of a deal. I love you immensely and I never want to hurt you. You're right. I should have talked to you. I hope you can understand this was a huge mistake on my part and I don't want to lose you over this.
Too late. You're too late.
I love you more than I can ever put into words. I f***ed up.
You got that right.
I'm sorry, but this is inexcusable. Like, this is such a betrayal of trust. Like, you've given this girl literally everything and you've been so great to her. Like, I'm so sorry. OP, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. This is not something that happens often, okay? I'll just say that. It is not normal for a partner to take their partner's credit card information and use their credit card without their knowledge. You are not overreacting. You definitely need to break up with this person. It's interesting how she totally brushed it off and like I almost believed her at the beginning, but like holy crap, she would have lied again. She lied numerous times throughout this entire text exchange, tried to minimize what she did. I'm no bueno. I would literally be like, you need to pay me back or I'm pressing charges and I'm not gonna be with you anymore. Like the lying, then the excuse for doing it was bad enough, then playing the victim was the icing on the cake. Not overreacting. Those are all the incorrect reactions for her to make. She's not sorry. She's sorry she got caught. Yeah. Honestly, the playing the victim thing is probably the worst thing that anyone can do in an argument or a confrontation. It's something that a lot of people do, okay? I'll just say that. But there's something about that playing the victim card when you are the victim in the situation and they somehow make themselves the victim. It is like classic gaslighting, manipulation, narcissistic bullshit.
You're not a victim. Not at all.
I don't play that game. She's done. You're done. You're done. Right, Mike? You're done. You're done. You are not overreacting. That's a big red flag if I ever saw one. Am I overreacting? My husband, 26 male, locked me, 25 female, out for 25 minutes. My husband and I have 3-year-old twin girls, and I'm currently 6 months pregnant with our third. We got in an argument over letting our daughters play outside. We got hit hard with snow, but we both had work, so we didn't really have the chance to let the girls play in it. We were both off today, so I thought, perfect opportunity. This was the first winter they were old enough to care about snow, and they were mesmerized by it. So this morning, I told my husband, I'm gonna take the girls out to play. He said he didn't want to come because it's too cold. I said, that's fine. I'm taking them. He said he didn't want any of us outside because it's too cold and the girls will get sick. Sickness doesn't really work like that, but anyways. I just kind of laughed and said, we won't be long. It's 25 degrees Fahrenheit, not -20. I probably didn't handle it the best and brushed him off, but he dropped it after that. I got the girls bundled up and we headed out front. We had fun for a few minutes and they loved it. But within 10 minutes, my husband was at the door calling for the girls to come in. They go inside and I'm kind of just standing in the front yard, annoyed for a moment. I go inside only to find he has locked the door. Oh, okay, so like what happened about him worried about you being too sick because it's so cold outside? I'm mad now and I have to pee. I start knocking and calling for him, but he doesn't come to the door and is ignoring my texts and calls. He even texted that I really needed to pee and he ignored that too. The most upsetting part is I could hear one of my daughters crying the entire time, stressed out knowing her mom is outside. So I stop knocking and sit on our porch. 25 minutes go by and he finally comes and unlocks the door. I push past him and go to the bathroom because yeah, I'm mad, about to pee myself and freezing at this point. He's smiling like it's funny and saying,
Oh, I thought you said it's not that cold. What's wrong?
We haven't spoken much today after that. What the That is not funny. That would only be like somewhat funny if he just like locked the door for 2 seconds and then unlocked it. He left you outside in the cold for 25 minutes and you're pregnant? He has genuinely never done something like this before.
First time for everything.
This is so up. Like, is anyone else just like, what is wrong with him? Like, it's almost like that was like a punishment for disobeying him. He's caring and not punishing or vindictive, so this really isn't in his nature. I mean, clearly it is. I'm appalled and very hurt. I understand I annoyed him by taking the girls out, and he thinks I undermined his parenting. Yeah, but what about your parenting?
Where's my choice? Where's my choice?
Literally, what about your parenting? He doesn't get the final say. Like, and honestly, neither do you. Sometimes you're gonna make decisions, sometimes he's gonna make decisions, but like, I fail to understand how you taking the girls outside to play in the snow, buddy. I live in Canada, okay? People are outside playing in the snow and it's minus 20 degrees Celsius. What is 25 degrees Fahrenheit? 0 degrees? There's literally people walking around in shorts. I'm not trying to negate the fact that like, oh, it wasn't that cold, she's fine. I just fail to understand why he was trying to like control that situation. I'm a grown woman. He doesn't get to punish me by locking out of my own home. That part, like you're not his child, you're his wife, his pregnant wife, I might add, the mother of his children and unborn children. Or maybe he's justified. I don't know. I feel crazy. Am I overreacting? No. What the actual is wrong with him? Yeah, he's a piece of your kid was crying. He clearly knew you were outside. If your kiddo was old enough, they probably wanted to open the door for you and your husband would have told them not to. Not the behavior they should see from a grown man. Also, you're pregnant and this is the way he's treating you? I mean, he shouldn't be treating you like this at all, but what the actual F? Yeah. Bombastic side eye. I'm normally not the typical Redditor, but this is deeply cruel and disturbing behavior. Yeah. I'd honestly have immediately taken the girls and left. That part. Not overreacting, I would have called the cops from the porch. Yeah. But like, you have to understand, this is like the first time he's ever done something like this before. She probably was like, maybe she was hoping that, you know, he was gonna open the door and he didn't. I understand he's never done something like this before, but this is really messed up. Some important things to note. There's a big difference between going outside and actively playing in the snow for a few minutes and sitting outside in the freezing cold. Yeah, so you're doing like physical activity, which makes you warmer. People take their kids skiing all the time. That part. There are also countries that leave their children to nap outside in the snow in their prams. Also, isn't even about being cold. He refused you access to your own home. He separated you from your children while they were distressed. He could have made you soil yourself and showed your girls that men don't need to respect the woman they're in a relationship with. All to teach you a lesson because you dared not agree to his every opinion and decided to create a beautiful moment for your kids instead. Literally, what the How would he have felt if you had to go to your neighbor to use the bathroom and explain why to them? Would he have been embarrassed for other people to have known what he did to you, or would he have stood by it? I would be keeping an eye on that type of behavior to make sure it doesn't escalate. His actions were completely over the top and totally out of proportion to the situation. You are not overreacting. In fact, I think you are grossly underreacting. This last one was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. My ex told me to get my own friends after his married friends invited me over. And now I'm the villain? Okay, I need outside perspective because this is the weirdest friend drama I've experienced and I genuinely don't understand what just happened. Back in June, I started dating a guy. A few weeks in, he introduced me to his married friends, early 20s. Let's call the wife Emma. Before I even met her, he told me that Emma doesn't have many friends and he thought it would be nice if I got close to her. I'm a girl's girl, so I was like, sure, why not? We ended up clicking immediately. We started Snapchatting almost daily normal stuff, memes, life updates, relationship talk. She would vent to me about her marriage sometimes. I hung out with her a couple of times, including once just the two of us. Everything seemed completely normal. Fast forward, the guy I'm dating breaks up with me, and not in a normal way. He tells me he's not physically attracted to me. Brutal, right? I confide in Emma about it because at this point I consider her a friend. She's supportive. A few weeks later, she invites me to come hang out. I agree and I tell her I'll drive out to see her. Here's where this gets weird. The day of, she calls me multiple times to confirm plans, even while I'm literally driving to her place. She sounded pretty drunk, but she keeps saying, yes, come over, we'll hang out. So I show up, we hang out for maybe an hour. I brought a board game, it was chill, nothing dramatic happened. A few days later, I get a message from my ex saying I need to get my own friends. I'm confused, so I ask what he means. He tells me Emma and her husband messaged him saying it was awkward that I came over, that I wasn't really wanted there, and they were too kind-hearted to tell me the truth.
Why should I believe you?
That's weird. I was completely blindsided. She invited me. She confirmed multiple times. She knew I was on my way, and now suddenly I forced myself into their home. Emma sounds kind of weird. Yeah, she fully lied. Like, it's okay. I'm trying to picture the conversation she would have with your ex. Like, was she like,
Yeah, she's like so weird. She just like showed up here.
was it like unprompted? Or was it like he found out that you were there and she was like, oh yeah, no, sorry. She just kind of like came, she just showed up here. You know, she was like in defense mode. I'm curious as to what that conversation was actually like. I feel like one is a little better than the other. Like her unprompted, just talking about you, claiming that you just like showed up and forced yourself into her house. That's weird. At that point, I blocked her on Snapchat. I'm 26. I do not have the emotional bandwidth for high school level social games. What I can't figure out is why invite me at all? Why confirm multiple times? Why not just say no? Why involve my ex instead of talking to me directly? I find that so weird. And you were only there for like an hour or two. It feels immature and honestly humiliating. If I misread something, fine, but I was explicitly invited. Am I missing something here? Is this some weird married couple loyalty thing, or did I just get tossed under the bus to make their friendship with my ex more comfortable? So yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Did you get tossed under the bus, or was it some weird way of like bullying you, maybe? Because right now it feels like I was set up to look desperate when I literally just showed up to a place I was invited to. It's possible your ex lied to you, likely even. And I bet his guy pal, Emma's hubby, shows a similar respect for ladies as the ex did. No wonder Emma doesn't have many friends. Okay, interesting. Did you talk to Emma directly? Because like, I'm also confused about like why she would just say that. I could definitely see the guy that you were dating pissed off about the fact that you went over there and just saying a bunch of things to like make you think that she didn't like you. I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. Like, I would talk to Emma first before you completely write off the friendship. It's also possible that he was like very controlling and she was like in defense mode. It was just like,
Yeah, I don't know. She just like came over. I don't know.
you know, like I could see her doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see what the possible motivation is for her inviting you over at all. From the descriptions of these dudes, I would say that hubby made a personal statement for the both of them. He probably doesn't even know what his wife thinks, or worse, he doesn't even give it. I'd repair the friendship and see if she might need help escaping a toxic relationship. It's interesting that other people also clock this. Don't believe what he said. If you like hanging out with her and she seemed cool, it's at least worth a conversation. Yeah. OP responded, I told Emma he was upset and I should probably unadd everybody. And she said, okay. So ultimately, I'm not sure if it was a loyalty thing. That's too bad she went along with it so easily. It sounds like she doesn't have many friends of her own and could use an ally. I hope she gets a stronger sense of herself and independence and finds some good friends of her own instead of being bullied by your ex and maybe her husband. Sounds like you did the right thing, just moving on. Have you blocked your ex too? Because he sounds like a piece of work. Did he really think you weren't invited over there and just showed up? What a tool. OP responded, yes, I blocked him too. Wasted 7 months of my time with him. I wanted to reach out to Emma, but truthfully, I don't think it's worth the energy. Okay, OP kept saying she blocked me on Instagram. She talked to Emma about it. Yeah, I think... First of all, I wouldn't believe what your ex said, but I also don't know if this is drama that you need in your life. You know, even if she is in a kind of situation where she's being pushed around by people, and it's probably best if you cut ties. You could end it by just sort of saying like, hey, like, if you ever want to talk, I'm here, leave it open and leave the ball in her court. But yeah, I don't know if it's worth going through all of this just to be friends with Emma. You're not overreacting. I don't know if they explicitly went and did something like to make you out to be desperate. I would bet more that she was kind of like in defense mode when your ex confronted her and he lied about what she said. And even then, might not be worth the trouble. You are not overreacting. This is